5 Stoic rules that will change your life. Most people spend their entire lives reacting. Someone cuts them off in traffic. They rage. A plan falls apart. They spiral. A person says something cruel. They carry it for days. The Stoics had a word for this kind of life: slavery. Not the chains and shackles kind, but something subtler and far more common. Being owned by your own emotions, by other people's opinions, by circumstances you never controlled in the first place. The Stoics built a philosophy not for temples or lecture halls, but for the battlefield, the courtroom, the marketplace, for real life. And at the center of it all were a handful of rules, not suggestions. Rules. Here are 5 of them. Rule 1. Control what you can. Release what you can't. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave, said that everything in life falls into one of 2 categories: things that are up to us and things that are not up to us. Your thoughts, your choices, your effort, your character. These are yours. The weather, the economy, what other people think of you, whether your flight lands on time. These are not. The moment you stop spending energy on the second category, something remarkable happens. You become almost unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because you've stopped fighting battles that were never yours to win. Ask yourself right now, how much of your anxiety lives in things you cannot control? Most of it, probably. That's not a flaw in you. That's a habit. And habits can be broken. Rule 2. Amor Fati. Love your fate. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth while watching his children die. His friends betray him, and his body slowly fail. He didn't merely endure this. He wrote about it with a kind of fierce acceptance. He called it Amor Fati, love of fate. This doesn't mean pretending bad things are good. It means refusing to add suffering on top of suffering. The obstacle happened. Now what? The Stoic answer is always the same. Use it. Every setback contains material. Every failure is information. Every difficult person is a teacher in disguise. Don't just tolerate what happens to you. Find a way to need it. Rule 3. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. The Stoics were obsessed with death, not out of morbidity, but out of clarity. Every morning, some of them would remind themselves, this could be my last day. Not to feel despair, to feel awake. Think about what you tolerated last week that you wouldn't tolerate if you knew you had 1 month left. The conversation you kept avoiding. The dream you kept postponing. The person you forgot to call. Death is the great editor. It cuts everything that doesn't matter and leaves only what does. The Stoic trick is to let it do that work now, while you still have time to act on what's left. Rule 4. You are not your thoughts. You are what you do. Seneca wrote letters to a friend, thousands of words about how to live well. And again he came back to the same point. Philosophy is worthless unless it changes your behavior. A man who can quote wisdom but still loses his temper, still procrastinates, still treats others poorly, that man has learned nothing. The Stoics distrusted people who talked about virtue. They were interested in people who practiced it every day, quietly, without applause. You don't need to meditate for an hour. You don't need to journal or read ancient texts. You just need to do one hard thing you've been avoiding and do it with full presence. That's the practice. Rule 5. The obstacle is the way. This is perhaps the most radical idea in all of Stoic philosophy. Not that obstacles can be overcome, but that the obstacle itself is the path forward. Every person who ever built something great did it through resistance, not around it. The difficulty wasn't the problem. The difficulty was the point. It was what built them. So the next time you're blocked, at work, in a relationship, in your own mind, Don't ask how do I get past this. Ask what is this teaching me, and how do I use it? The Stoics weren't perfect. They were emperors and slaves, generals and writers, people who failed and doubted just like anyone else. But they left behind something rare, a manual for a life that doesn't depend on things going well. Control what's yours. Accept what isn't. Remember you'll die. Let your actions speak. And meet every obstacle like it was sent to you on purpose. Because maybe it was.